Thanks for tuning in. Yom Kippur is on its way, and you might like to learn a little bit more. So here we go. As you know, there are many Jewish holidays that punctuate our year. Some of those holidays come because they're written about in the Torah. Some of those come because they are part of Jewish history, and some of them come about because Israel is a modern Jewish state. And here we are at Yom Kippur, which comes right after Rosh Hashanah. What's this holiday about? It's about judging ourselves. We've done the work of repairing our relationships with others during Rosh Hashanah, and now we stand before God and ask, well, what do you think? It's a holiday still about saying, I'm sorry to others, to self, to God, and also to say, I forgive you. The main ideas or minhagim or customs of this holiday are five things we're not supposed to do during the 25 hours of Yom Kippur. There's no eating, no drinking, no perfume or deo, no leather, and no romance. What's the need that this holiday is trying to fulfill? Well, in the Torah, there was one day a year when God's portable house was cleaned of all that spiritual gunk and dirtiness within. That's a cool idea, and we want that for ourselves. We want this one time of year where we can say, what is it that needs to be gotten rid of? Right, to live, I often put on armor. One day a year I can peel away that protection and look at who I really am. I live one day a year as if I'm no longer living. I wear all white. I go without all the things that I would normally need to, and I look back at myself and my life from afar and ask, well, what do I regret and what can I do about it? Once, and additionally, this idea of once bad, always bad, can I be forgiven? And Yom Kippur says, of course you can. You don't have to be stuck. There is another chance, and we all get it. As a TVT parent, what do I need to know? Well, we often have a half day right before Yom Kippur. That's because people want to make sure that they eat well before the sun goes down, well before the fast begins. Often you're going to synagogue or shul or temple on this day, and there's often big crowds as well. So you like to get there early to make sure you get a spot. So that's why we have a half day at TVT. Your entire day for some of us is spent at the synagogue. Some of us have great caffeine headaches during this day. Some of us are doing other things, but the fast itself ends, and all those five restrictions end when three stars come into the sky on the night of the next day. And the day after, when we find ourselves back at TVT, you'll often notice a few commonalities. One is there's a late start, and also there's no homework collected, and there's no tests on that day. Why do we have a late start? Because we realize there's a great custom of after Yom Kippur ends to have a great meal, to express the optimism of, you know what, everything worked out for the best. It's time to eat. It's time to be joyous. We made it. We'll worry about the next Yom Kippur when it gets here. But for now, we have a great sigh of relief. And Yom Kippur at home, what can you do? Well, get into the I'm sorry spirit. Write sorry notes to each family member and give them to each other, or sit around in a circle and say them to each other before this day ends. Another idea is to use an outline of a person and create a vision map of what you want to be like when you're at your very self. Cut it up, hang it out, remind yourself of it during the year. Or you can try an Israeli style Yom Kippur, where often people in Israel, even if they're not religious, still spend the entire day on bikes instead of in cars. They have a sense of this day we want to make different. We want to honor that this isn't quite business as usual. Also, you can make a Yom Kippur sniffer to help those who are fasting. It's kind of a lemon that you place cloves in, and it's a great thing to bring to kind of revive your soul and spirit when the day gets to be really long. And on Yom Kippur, we say Gemar Tov, have an easy finishing, or we say Tzom Kal. So let me be the first to wish you all a Tzom Kal, an easy fast on Yom Kippur. Thanks for watching.